Good evening, everyone. It is 6:30, and I am going to call to order the May 20th, 2026 Cedarburg School Board meeting. This is a regular meeting of the Cedarburg School Board and is a public meeting. Prior notices have been placed in the district, and additional copies were forwarded to the city and town of Cedarburg, as well as the News Graphic and Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Well, annually at this time, new committee and board representation assignments are made for a one-year term. I appreciated everyone's input from the board and gave thoughtful consideration to the structure. I look forward to the year ahead, working with all the committees, and at this time we'll take a motion to approve the committee structure and special assignments as presented. I'll make a motion to approve the school board committee structure and special assignment proposal with the addition of Connie Kincaid to curriculum committee and to replace Elizabeth Shyland as WASB delegate. All right, I do not believe I have a second, so that amendment will not be made. Do I have a motion to approve the committee structure and special assignments as presented? I'll make a motion to approve the school board committee structure and special assignment proposal with the addition of Connie Kincaid to personnel and finance and to replace Elizabeth Shyland as WASB delegate. All right, I do not have a second, so I will again accept the motion to approve the committee structure and special assignments as presented. I'll make a motion to accept the school board committee structure and assignment proposal as presented with the change of Connie Kincaid being added to buildings and grounds, Jake Hebda being removed from buildings and grounds, and Connie Kincaid being replaced as WASB delegate. Okay, I do not have a second. I will take a motion to approve the committee structure and special assignments as presented. I'll make a motion to approve the committee structure and special assignment as presented with the amendment that Paul Demchuk is removed from negotiations, Connie Kincaid is replaced, and Connie Kincaid replaces Elizabeth Shyland as WASB delegate. All right, I do not have a second. Dr. Clark, please correct me if I am wrong, that as board president, I am able to just assign the committee structure and I do not need approval from the board.
That is correct.
Okay, then thank you, everyone. We will have the committee structure and special assignments as presented. Thank you. I will be submitting an item for the records regarding these assignments. Brenda, can I pass this over to you? Would you mind taking this? This will be available for the minutes for anyone who is interested as to why I went through the process I just did. Thank you.
All right, consent agenda. With regards to the consent agenda, board members, I ask that you approve the minutes from the regular board meeting on April 22nd, 2026. The budget and finance report, which includes the summary of account, check register, check detail, and credit card transaction report, and the personnel report. Mr. DeRosa, Director of Human Resources, will provide a brief overview of the personnel report.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Good evening, school board. In front of you, you have the personnel report for this evening, and we are seeking your approval for the following appointments and resignations. For resignations, we have Mia Vincent, special ed teacher at Parkview, Richard Wagner, business teacher at CHS, and Michelle Taylor, special ed teacher at CHS. For appointments, we have Gabriel Hoffman, special ed teacher at Webster, and Dawson Van Handel, ELA teacher at Webster.
All right, I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. So, second. All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That vote passes 7-0. Thank you.
All right, this evening we have two reports from the board. The first report is going to be by our elementary fine arts or art program. And my understanding is you're going to present and introduce yourselves as part of the presentation. All right.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having us tonight to just showcase what we do in the elementary art department regarding art, presenting artwork. And so we're excited to share the value and impact that has. And we actually got on with some students, some current students and some former students. So when we're done presenting, we're going to give them a chance to share not only the artwork, but share a little bit about how displaying art has impacted them. So I'm Sasha Miller. Let me find a clicker here. Here we go. I teach between the three art buildings of the three elementary schools. And, sorry, it goes fast. I'll slow down a little bit. Oh, there we go. So I'm primarily at Weston, but I also travel to Parkview and Garson.
And I'm Kim O'Reilly. I teach at Parkview Elementary.
I'm Claire Pankwitz. I teach at Thorson Elementary. A little bit of an overview of what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the who. So who did our displays impact? Where we display artwork. What? So what our displays typically look like. Why they are important. When they occur, and how often, or how the displays are put together, sorry.
So the first being so our displays impact every one of our students, and we currently have about 1,130 students kindergarten through 5th grade. And during the time our students in elementary school, they'll take part in at least one show and receive an extra award, and some of them have an opportunity to be in more than one show. In addition to our students' families, friends, and community members coming to see the artwork, in addition to our students, families, friends, and community members come to see the artwork at our schools, we continuously rotate the displays so that you can enjoy some of the seeing pictures of our 5th grade fine arts night, the Cedarburg Cultural Center, and you can see a lot of families have come.
And where we display, one of our shows is at the Student Art Matters exhibit at the Cedarburg Art Museum. We display in the children's section at the Cedarburg Public Library. The Cedarburg Cultural Center for their gallery of student art, and at the Ozaukee County Fair. In addition to that, we do a fine arts night with our 5th graders, and we have ongoing displays throughout the school.
All right. In our community, our displays look a little bit different depending on our unique venues. So first, we'll talk about the Student Art Matters art show at the Cedarburg Art Museum. It's a smaller, more intimate show displaying each student's work in mats and frames. The show's for K-12 students representing a few local school districts in Ozaukee County.
Our library or display at the Cedarburg Public Library is not only for us elementary art teachers, but for the middle school and high school as well. And they have a 10-panel bulletin board, two-sided, so we're able to display about 40 pieces, and we're on a 6-week rotation there.
Our Gallery of Student Art and Ozaukee County Art Show at the Cedarburg Cultural Center is one of our biggest of the year. It allows us each to display approximately 50 pieces, and the art show brings in many families and community members since it represents artists of all ages, from beginning artists to professional. Every year they provide an artist reception on a Sunday afternoon with snacks and refreshments and a live art critique for the high school level.
The school art exhibit at the Ozaukee County Fair allows us to submit an unlimited number of art pieces. However, they ask for original pieces. They don't want numerous examples from one project because the students are placed first, second, and third place, and they receive ribbons and small checks, which is always exciting for them. In addition, they have an Outstanding Artist Award for each level, and when students are awarded that, the Quilt Museum hosts an award ceremony, and the 3 students in the picture to the right were some of my students who all 3 won that one particular year.
So what do displays look like at our schools? At our individual buildings, we make an effort to display our work throughout the year, changing displays as often as we're able. And here we're focusing on 5th grade Fine Arts Night, which actually just occurred for Westlawn and Thorson, and Parkview is coming up soon. So for our 5th grade Fine Arts Night, our students display their entire portfolio of student work from the school year. And the display spaces and format looks a little bit different at each of the 3 schools, but the focus is celebrating graduating artists, their years of growth, talent, passion, and remains the same. So for example, at Westlawn, we do the music, the concert first, and then we go to the cafeteria where the snacks and refreshments that the PTO provides, and they can kind of go in and out in the room, in the halls, and then I put together a 5th grade slideshow for the students to see pictures of them kindergarten through 5th grade.
We do quite a few displays at each of our individual schools, so we can display 2D and 3D artwork in the hallways, libraries, office spaces. We sometimes have the students title their work. We teach them to sign and sometimes date. We, from time to time, do self-reflections and art critiques in the hallway, and students can leave feedback for other students. And we try to have this learning objectives available for people to see as well. In the center picture here, we also frame artwork. So each year we pick out 2 to 3 pieces of artwork that we frame and we put in the hallway, and then the students can retrieve those, their artwork when they graduate from high school.
Connections and collaborative displays at Parkview, Thorson, and Westlawn. Occasionally, we have the opportunity to collaborate with the music department by creating artwork that coordinates with their concert theme. An example is designing shirts and hats for the 2nd grade Go Fish musical. That was really fun, and they always have a nice time doing that.
So the why are the displays important? An art display to an artist is like a concert to a musician, a recital to a dancer, or a meal presented by a chef. So without an art display, it would just be incomplete. That we teach our students that presenting their work is part of their artist, which impacts how they approach their own process of creating. It also gives them pride and purpose in what they do. I remember show and tell. One of my favorite artifacts from art show is when I had a student come with a written speech to the art show, the 2nd grader. That was not a criteria. It was very unexpected. I don't remember who he gave the speech to, myself and his parents. But to him, it was memorable, and it was certainly memorable for me, so much so that I had to tell him how much I loved it. And so she printed his speech on his artwork that he made in 2nd grade. It says, "Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Ms. Miller, for choosing my art. I call it the freak out." I tried to the last function with does anyone have any questions? Speech? And I think I asked him a question. Oh, I'm sorry. And then also by viewing and displaying art, we grow knowledge, inspiration, reflection, confidence, and the ability to give and receive feedback.
Okay, when there are shows happening, Student Art Matters, one at the Cedarburg Art Museum, happens in the winter to early spring, so it's quite a long show. Cedarburg Public Library, again, is on that 6-week rotation throughout the year. The Ozaki County, or the Cedarburg Cultural Center show is usually in the spring. The county fair, as you know, is in the summer, late July, early August. And then our 5th grade Fine Arts Night is in various times in May. And our other displays throughout the building are all throughout the year.
How are our displays put together? Each step in the process of selecting and preparing artworks takes hours and hours of time outside of regular school hours.
So it does take a lot of work to put on these shows. First, we have to look through all the student artwork and select pieces that stand out to us. We also look to see who has been in an art show in the past, because our goal is to have each student represented in some way in some show throughout their time in elementary school. So we're very thoughtful. We don't just randomly pick pieces. We obviously look at what speaks to us, and then we have to reference that with who has been in a show already. We map the artwork, we label it, we send letters home to the families, we email the families. The Cultural Center art show is one that we go and we physically put it up ourselves, which takes hours of thought and display and really thinking about what looks good together and what goes together. We attend the artist receptions, which are usually on Sundays or evenings, Saturdays. And then Claire came up with a very lovely way to keep track of all those students who have been part of the art shows. I don't know if you want to share more.
So that spreadsheet up in the top left, that's what's making my Google Drive scream and cry these past few years. It has all the kids, and we have hundreds of kids to keep track of, so it's hard to keep track of who is and who is not in the show, and then thinking of Sasha, who's between all three of our schools. So I have this document shared that we can just check off. It's easy, look at, like, this kid has been in a show, yes, no, and then just keep it simple like that. So it keeps it simple for her.
And I brought two very talented few artists with me. I have Aaliyah Summersell and Jeremiah Summersell. Aaliyah's in kindergarten and her brother Jeremiah is in 3rd grade. So would you like to come up? And they brought the artwork along that was in the shows. So Jeremiah, can you tell them what you brought?
My name's Jeremiah. I'm in 3rd grade at Parkview, and my artwork was displayed at the Cultural Center, and I made this bear football player who is an actual bear because I like the bears. And yeah.
And it's a bell.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. How did it make you feel to have your artwork in the show?
I was excited and happy because when I saw it in the art show, I was very excited to see it there, and I was happy because I was very happy that I was picked, and when I went, my Nana and my Papa were there to see my art in the Cultural Center.
Thank you, Jeremiah. And this is Aaliyah, and this is her piece that was in an art show.
Hello, my name is Aaliyah Summersell. And my artwork was displayed at the Cedarburg Art Museum. And when I got there, I felt happy and special. And we dressed up, and Nana and Papa came. Uncle and Isaac drove from Appleton to see me, to take us to the museum.
I would like to invite Mr. Weston Miller to come up. I had him in 3rd and 4th grade, and he has Mrs. Miller this year.
Good evening. My name is Weston Miller, and I'm a 5th grade student at Burson Elementary School. This year, I had the opportunity to display my artwork at our school's Fine Arts Night. Every 5th grade student got to showcase their art pieces we created during the school year. Some of the artwork I displayed included my fiery clay sculpture, a relief print, a linoleum block print in a sketchbook, and a few other projects I worked hard on. When my artwork is displayed, I feel really proud and excited. It makes me happy to see my classmates, family members, and teachers able to look at my artwork. Seeing my art displayed also inspires me to keep creating new projects and improve my skills as an artist. To prepare for these projects, I learned about different styles of art and brainstormed ideas before I started working. Each project took patience, creativity, and several class periods to the finish. After each project, I thought about what I learned, what I liked most about it, and what I could do differently next time. I'm really thankful for our amazing elementary art teachers who worked hard to make the fine arts such a success. Thank you for giving students like me the chance to share creativity with others.
I made this miniature mini golf course.
And I modeled it after my favorite golf course that my dad built.
So this is the clay flute project, and when I first started teaching it was only triangle cakes, and we're now up to 6 different styles of cakes, and the kids keep pushing me to think out of them. So literally, I never had a golf course. Yeah. Thank you so much, Preston. And then next we have representing the kindergarten, the 3rd grader, and 5th grader, and a couple of former students. So Mia graduated at CSD in 2021. She went to Westlawn, Webster, and CHS. She's currently studying art education at UW. So welcome, Shannon.
Hi, yes, my name is Mia, graduated in 2021, and I'm currently at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, graduating this upcoming fall with my BFA in art education. Some of my strongest memories as an art student involve seeing artwork displayed throughout the school and community. From collaborative projects, pieces selected for shows and exhibitions, or any creative involvement, it always made the art feel meaningful and connected. One memory that stands out is a piece I helped work on way back when I was in kindergarten. Displayed in the front of Westlawn Elementary School, there is an apple sculpture that the whole school created. Even though my part was just a small portion, I'm able to walk by to this day and say I helped create that, which is a special feeling. In 3rd grade, Ms. Miller selected collage I made in class to be shown at the Cedarburg Cultural Arts Center. I got my family and friends to see it, and I was able to show off my work and be proud of something I learned in class. Collage wasn't something that I did like normal school work where I would put it away in my folder and never see again. It was shown for everybody to see. Later in high school, I was asked to create a painting for the Museum of Wisconsin Art up in West Bend, which I have brought with me to share. This oil painting here. So that opportunity truly changed my confidence for the better and helped me finally see myself as an artist, which then encouraged me to start pursuing art seriously and not just as a hobby. These moments got me to where I am today, which couldn't have happened without the opportunities my art teachers presented me. Today, I still display and share my artwork often. My family and friends have pieces in their homes or workplaces, even share my work online where I've been able to sell my art. It means a lot to know that something I created can connect with others, and I believe displaying student artwork is so impactful because it validates their voice and creativity. Thank you.
And then last, we have another former student, April, who graduated in 2024. She also went to Westlawn and Webster and CHS. She couldn't be here today, but she shared with Wisconsin. So she's currently studying theater with a concentration in design, technology, and stage management. She was very crucial in working with, what is the name of the class at high school with Chris Thorne's, like the tech design class, tech theater. In fact, she was like his, she just ran the show, essentially, which was amazing. So that gave her a lot of experience. And then she also had some minor in graphic design at UW. So here's her responses. So what memories do you have of your art being displayed as an art student? She says, I have a lot of memories of my art being displayed all throughout my career. And it was most impactful. It was one of the most impactful things to me at the time, having my art either in the hallways right outside of the art classroom or the Cedarburg Cultural Center. I remember pointing to family and friends being super proud to show my work and say, hey, that's mine. It encouraged me to keep creating and to make it to be shown to others. And in response to the question of what career path have you chosen and how did your time as an art student impact that choice, he said if it wasn't fun, if it wasn't an art student and encouraged by many art teachers to create, I wouldn't be in my current major in the slightest. I'm now studying scenic and lighting design for entertainment and theater. I use my artistic design skills and the drawing techniques daily, but I learned all the way back to elementary school. That foundation to explore and create is what my entire course in life has been developed on. And then lastly, we do display art now, and so why do you think it's available? I have recently displayed art in many places. I've shown my painting work for theatrical shows at festivals where I've gotten critical and pure eyes on it, as well as the thoughts and opinions. I have shown paintings and graphic design work on campus galleries, and with the practice I have displayed my work, I was able to get a scholarship from my presentation. And in Cedarburg, I've displayed pieces for plein air and sold some pieces. With my years of practice displaying art, I have had my opportunities open up to me, scholarships, sold pieces, and awards, all thanks to my practice and chances to display art from the region elementary school. And then here are just a few of the pictures. On the left, you can see the four paintings. The two bottom ones were sold, and that was at the Cedarburg Cultural Center. And it's funny, I saw it's theirs at the show. You can see the picture on the bottom in the middle that was sold. And so I saw the high school art people were like, man, I want some of mine as baby. And so, you know, that was doing it right. How it works. So she's very successful and thriving. And that's all. So thank you so much. And we'll take any questions if you have any.
I'd like to thank all the former and current students for coming and sharing your artwork with us. That was great to see. And I'd like to thank the art teachers for all that you do to provide all these great opportunities for the students to display their work. It's really amazing.
Thank you.
I did have a quick comment. I wanted to say specifically to, let's see, Jeremiah, you helped answer a question I had, actually. I was cleaning out my son's room, and he has what he calls a treasure on his keyboard. And it was the very same bell that he made in third grade. I was trying to figure out what this treasure was. So you helped answer that question for me without even knowing, and I loved hearing the little bell ring for the hand clap. So I appreciated that, and I'm from Illinois. Nobody held it against me, so our family cheers for the Bears, half and half, Bears and Packers. So thank you for sharing your artwork with us, and art is still James's favorite subject. So thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to say a quick thank you for the students for coming. It was wonderful to see your artwork. And then for the art teachers, thank you so much for doing this. I know you explained how much work it is to put on these special exhibits. I've seen a lot of these exhibits and how much interest and attention they draw from the community. And it's a joy to see people enjoying the artwork for the students, but especially a chance for those students, like they said, to get congratulated, to be acknowledged, to feel special, to have it be a moment to share with their family. It's just a really wonderful thing to see, and I wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, I agree with all the things, and just also how blessed we are to be in the Cedarburg community who really values the arts and that they provide all these venues to locally display all the art. We're very fortunate, and thank you. And for anyone who's here for this presentation, we understand if you have obligations or homework or anything tonight that you don't have to stay for this entire meeting. Thank you.
All right, board members, all of you have a copy of the 2025-26 Food Service Annual Report. This report was presented by our food service provider, Delmar, at the May 13th Personnel and Finance Committee. Ms. Kim Zabo, of Director of Business Services, is available to answer any questions that you might have.
Does anyone have any questions?
I had a question previously, but I submitted it to Dr. Clark, and I will get an answer back to that parent who asked me about it. So no need for it to be taking up time tonight.
All right, thank you. All right, I guess we will move on to public comment. We do have 2 people signed up tonight, so if anyone else would like to speak, you're more than welcome. I do have a paragraph I have to read here, so bear with me as I get through it. Any district staff member, district resident, parent of a district student, or student enrolled in the district may comment during the public comment portion of a meeting per Board Policy 0167.3. For this meeting, the community may address the board during the public comment section of the meeting regarding topics within the legitimate jurisdiction of the board. Individuals making public comments are reminded that they are not immune from legal consequences related to their speech. This includes, but is not limited to, liability for speech that is contrary to the privacy, reputational, or due process rights of others, such as defamation or making false claims. Please make your comments to the board and not to any individuals in the audience. As this is a public meeting, it is expected that everyone in attendance will conduct themselves in a respectful and courteous manner that models appropriate behavior for our students. Speech or conduct that is threatening or disruptive is prohibited. In accordance with School Board Policy 0167.3, comments by an individual speaker shall not exceed 3 minutes in duration. When you approach the microphone, please state your name and address for the record. Please state the topic upon which you will be commenting. If you are under the age of 18 or are a student in Cedarburg schools, please only state your first name. As a reminder, this meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the district's website. During public comment, the board's role is to listen to the concerns presented. To ensure everyone has an opportunity to speak, board members will not engage in dialogue with presenters at this time, but may follow up after the meeting concludes. All right, and my first speaker, or first comment, public comment person, and I apologize if I mispronounce your name. I have Kayla Pusateri. All right, thank you.
Hi. I had something to hand out to you guys beforehand, so I was just going to do that first. Okay, my name is Kayla Pusateri. My address is 1688 Devonshire Drive in Cedarburg, Wisconsin 53012. The topic I wanted to discuss is summer school in regards to special needs students. Okay, I'm here tonight as the parent of a child in this district with special needs and an IEP. Over the past several months, I've been trying to understand how students with the greatest academic needs are being served during the summer months. What I discovered is a gap that I didn't deserve was board's immediate attention. My daughter Aria is a first grader at Thorson. She was denied access to the STEP Reading and Math Summer program because she was considered too far away from the program to appropriately support her. At the same time, she was also denied extended school year services that would have provided one-on-one support because the district determined she was making adequate progress on her IEP during the regular school year. In other words, she was considered too high needs for one summer support program, but not high needs enough for the other. So even though she was significantly below grade level in both reading and math, it was decided by her school that she would simply be given no academic support over the summer. And according to the principal, there's other students across the elementary schools that fall into this category. These are students with documented disabilities and substantial academic deficits who are effectively left without meaningful summer academic support. I was unable to get a solid count, but even if that number is small district-wide, those students still matter and their needs do too. Summer learning loss already disproportionately impacts struggling students. For children with disabilities who are already substantially behind their peers, losing access to structured support for an entire summer can widen achievement gaps even further. Also troubling is that there appears to be no formal board policy governing step eligibility, extended school year eligibility, or the overlap between those decisions. We're also being told that determinations are based on internal guidelines, multiple criteria, and committee decisions rather than being given objective, clearly defined eligibility standards. The entire situation directly conflicts with the values this district publicly states it believes in. In the Cedarburg Elementary Handbook, the district mission statement states, "We believe that each of the students come first and that schools need to provide the resources to challenge each student to reach his or her full potential." The district believes it also says the staff will provide a wide range of educational offerings and options to ensure all students achieve and excel as they achieve mastery of reading, writing, and mathematical skills. Right now, there's a group of students whose needs are not being met by any summer reading or math assistance option at all. Because of that, I'm asking for those statements in the handbook to be more than just pretty words. I'm asking this board to take action in 3 areas. First, review the district's current summer program and gaps for students with disabilities and significant academic delays. Second, establish transparent written criteria and policies for STEP and ESY eligibility so families clearly understand how decisions are being made. And third, most importantly, develop a summer intervention program specifically designed for students who fall into this gap. Students who need more support than STEP provides, but who do not technically qualify for ESY. Thank you for your time and attention in this important matter. And I made it 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Terry Schwab. I also like to I'd like to pass out before I begin. Thank you.
Just gonna hold it. Actually, no, I'm not, because I gotta turn pages. Ready? I'm here to address the concern that impacts not only me, but many dedicated educators in our district.
Sorry, just can you state your name?
Oh, yes, I know that. Hi, Terry Fong, W75 and 824 Tower Avenue, Cedarburg, Wisconsin, here to talk about handbook policy regarding staff for school days. Ready? Okay. I am here to address the concern that impacts not only me, but many dedicated educators in our district, the limited ability of teaching staff to use personal days as truly personal days. A few weeks ago, I submitted a request to use 2 personal days this coming November to attend an important event for my son. This is not a last-minute request, nor is it something I take lightly. In fact, I wrote to ask for time off. The information available in the district's diary account shows that since 2014, when records began, I have requested reuse from 5.5 personal days in over 12 years. That reflects my commitment to my students, my colleagues, and the district. In addition, where prior records available, you would see that same commitment in my over 27 years here. Despite that commitment, the current handbook policy makes it extremely difficult to use personal days. The handbook states that personal days may only be used for compelling circumstances that cannot be scheduled outside of work time or out of the employee's control. It explicitly includes events such as attending sporting events or other activities of personal choice. It requires detailed explanations, restricts timing, and even allows these requests to reflect compensation decisions. It gives an administrative power to determine subjectively whether attending an event that supports a family member is compelling, and if not, then the district will punish a teacher for program reduction. In order to support my son, I'm having to do that at an out-of-pocket cost of over $1,000 despite having 2 personal days available and additional 72 days of my 75 day CS2 lets me back. Simply put, these are not truly personal days. They are totally controlled exceptions. Foxborough Bayside allows up to 4 PTO days within 24 hours notice. Staff can even take 2 consecutive days without any needed approval. Miami Falls provides 2 personal days, allows flexibility of the discretion of HR. Grafton offers 3 personal days with simple discretion given by the superintendent. Glendale River Hills and Lakeland allow employees to take personal days prior to or after a holiday.
And no one has a personal recall that compensate staff for not using their personal days. These districts recognize something important, that trusting educators to manage their time fosters respect, morale, and retention. Our clean policy, on the other hand, sends a different message, that staff must prioritize the district or their own families and lives, unless they believe their situation meets a narrow definition of acceptable. That is not the culture we should be striving for. If we truly want educators to feel valued, we need to create an environment that encourages healthy work-life balance, not one that requires justification, scrutiny, and restriction from taking a day. I respectfully ask that you consider revising the handbook policy to allow staff to use their two-person days in a flexible and restricted manner. On June 10th, the PNF committee will review other handbook changes, and I ask that a change be presented regarding personal days usage to the PNF committee at that time. And then we will release the full code on June 17th, when the other handbook changes will be presented for review. I ask that you trust your educators, treat them as professionals who balance their responsibilities while still being present for the important moments in their lives. Because at the end of the day, supporting the capable and support our students is not just good policy, it's the right thing to do.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board?
My name is Gina Tozer. My address is N118W7362 Fair Lane here in Cedarburg. And I will be talking about the committee appointments that were agreed to today. Today I'm confirming committee appointments. The board had a chance to demonstrate leadership free from playground politics. Instead, the appointments appear to be rooted in the board president's opinion of the employee's deference like the board, rather than merit. That was an annual and proven moral indifference to the community that this board serves. For my part, I am disappointed that this type of conduct by the adults at this table continues. Alternatively, I am grateful that the public can witness these actions directly via recording without the board's ability to scrub or reframe the way the board conducts its business. Our community deserves better, and I urge you to commit to a more accountable and less sophomoric approach going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? No?
Can I ask a quick question before we move forward? Would you mind just reading the last part of the statement about communications that happens prior to public comment?
The last paragraph?
Not the whole paragraph, or if you don't mind just passing it my way so I can read it for
No, I'll read it.
Thank you.
During public comment, the board's role is to listen to the concerns presented. To ensure everyone has an opportunity to speak, board members will not engage in dialogue with presenters at this time, but may follow up after the meeting concludes.
Okay, so for the follow-up piece, is it reasonable to, for those who took time to speak this evening, to just reiterate that any of the board members can be reached via email? Several of us are open to phone calls, and to just reiterate that?
Yes, that's fair.
So if anyone spoke this evening and would like to reach out to me directly, please go through the email. I do also have a phone number that I'm happy to take calls. And as mentioned previously, you can go back in the minutes to what Brenda will submit regarding today's committee assignments. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, this evening we will be presenting 9 recommendations to the board. The first recommendation is for the board to approve the 2026-27 facility use fees. For School Board Policy 7510, public use of school fees, groups that are not affiliated with the Cedarburg School District shall pay user fees according to a fee schedule approved annually by the board. While revenue from these fees is not enough to cover the long-term maintenance of the facilities, it does help offset some of the costs incurred by keeping these spaces open after the end of the school day. No changes are being proposed, and the board last made adjustments to fees in 2023. The general fund budget for revenue from facility rental fees is $120,000. The community service budget for revenue from facility rental fees is $38,000. This recommendation is being forwarded by the Personnel and Finance Committee to the full board for approval.
All right, I will accept the motion to approve the 26-27 proposed facility use and CPAC fee schedules as presented.
A second. Paul can have it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the 26-27 proposed facility use and CPAC fee schedules as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That vote passes 7-0. Thank you.
All right, the next recommendation is for the board to approve the 2026-27 food service annual contract. The district's current contract with Aramark for food services is up for renewal. Aramark is proposing a 3% increase to meal rates based on the 2025 contract agreement. This increase will be used to continue to improve the program through competitive compensation for staff and by keeping up with inflationary increase in food costs. The 2026-27 Fund 50 budget is $1,040,612. This recommendation is being forwarded by the Personnel and Finance Committee to the full board for approval.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the proposed Aramark 26-27 contract renewal as presented.
I'll second.
Well, I said I would take a motion. You said that?
So moved.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Can I just make one correction? The Fund 50 budget is not $1,040,612. The Aramark service fee is.
Oh, yeah.
The Fund 50 budget is largely comprised of the Aramark service fee plus other expenses, which you'll see at the June preliminary budget. Just want to make a correction to that.
We update the slide.
Any discussion? I would just like to add, there was really good discussion when in front of Aramark, who presented at the committee level and just discussed a lot of things of ways that they can improve that would help the students overall. So I really appreciated that discussion. So with that, I will, let's take a vote to approve the proposed Aramark 26-27 contract renewal as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That vote passes 7-0. Thank you.
The next recommendation is for the board to approve the 2026-27 school lunch fees. Annually, the district reviews meal prices to ensure the ongoing solvency of the food service program. While lunch prices have remained flat for quite some time, operational costs have continued to rise, necessitating the need to increase lunch prices to maintain a balanced Fund 50 budget. The Fund 50 budget for revenue from lunch and breakfast meal charges would increase from $445,000 to $530,000. This recommendation is being forwarded by the Personnel and Finance Committee to the full board for approval.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the 26-27 school lunch fees.
I will second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just wanted to note that there's a document attached in board docs that has comparable prices with other districts as well as the historical prices here at Cedarburg. And the price has been the same since 2020, so it seems reasonable to do this at this point.
And I think we also ask that communication go out to family members at the end of the school year so they're prepared for next school year. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the 26-27 school lunch fees, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That vote passes 7-0. Thank you.
All right, the next recommendation is for the board to approve the 2026-27 school fees. The Cedarburg School District charges fees each year based on a variety of reasons, ranging from registration to field trips. The purpose of school fees is to help offset the cost of various consumable expenses related to the fees. For the 2026-27 school year, there will be a $5 increase to the Chromebook insurance fee. The budget revenue for school fees is $340,000. This recommendation is being forwarded to the full board by the Personnel and Finance Committee.
All right, I will accept the motion to approve the 26-27 proposed school fees.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just have one more thing to share in this one as well. So the $5 increase to the Chromebook insurance fee, that's an optional fee, so I just thought it was fair to point that out. That's all.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the 26-27 proposed school fees, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That vote passes 7-0. Thank you.
All right, the next recommendation is for the board to approve the resolution authorizing the transfer of funds, the establishment of an escrow account with respect to, and the defeasance of certain of the general obligation refunding bonds, dated March 4th, 2029. The district is in the position to use a portion of our Fund 39 debt service fund balance to pay down existing debt early. This resolution will lower the total interest cost for our community and reduce the amount of debt the district carries into the future. This debt defeasance would save an estimated $2,165,711 in interest costs. This recommendation is being forwarded by the Personnel and Finance Committee to the full board for approval.
All right, I will take a motion to, approve that the board take action regarding a resolution authorizing the transfer of funds, the establishment of an escrow account with respect to and the defeasance of certain of the general obligation refunding bonds dated March 4th, 2019.
So moved.
I will second. Any discussion?
This was a really interesting meeting. I do think that if anyone, this is one of the ones that where I really wish we did record our committee meetings. Put a statement, I guess, out there that I really feel we're doing a bit of a disservice in not having those committee meetings available for the public, because this was an incredibly interesting and helpful one. I understand the feelings of several board members on that front, but if anyone's interested in debt and repayment and all those kinds of things, try to pay attention to those P&F meetings and come on out to those, because we should have another one coming up, hopefully, related to this topic.
That's it. Thank you. Any other discussion?
Go
ahead.
I just wanted to thank him for your work on this and for helping steer this district into a position of being able to do this. So thank you.
Agreed. All right, I'm going to say this one more time. Bear with me. All those in favor of taking action regarding a resolution authorizing the transfer of funds, the establishment of an escrow account with respect to and the defeasance of certain of the general obligation refunding bonds dated March 4th, 2019, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That passes 7-0. Thank you.
All right, the next recommendation is for the board to approve the Unusually Hazardous Transportation, or UHT plan. The UHT plan is a formal document which allows the district to provide busing to students who live within the statutory aiding distance of 2 miles, but whose walking route is deemed unsafe. The route is defined as unusually hazardous due to safety factors like high traffic volume, poor visibility, or the lack of sidewalks. The administration reviewed all existing areas within the 2-mile zone in collaboration with the Cedarburg Police Department and Rightway, a transportation provider. All families were notified of this change in the April parent newsletter. Additionally, any families with 8th to 11th grade students in the altered zones were individually emailed. The plan is being reviewed by the Ozaukee County Sheriff's Department for approval. After board and sheriff approval, the plan will be sent to the DPI for final approval. This recommendation is being forwarded by the Personnel and Finance Committee to the full board for approval. And Brenda, if you'll go to the next slide, it just kind of indicates when the different notifications and discussions were made throughout this process.
Thank you for including the headline.
All right, I will take a motion to approve the Unusually Hazardous Transportation Plan as presented.
I motion to approve the Unusually Hazardous Transportation Plan as presented.
I will second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I guess I would just add, this is another item that Kim really spent a lot of time on, more time than the average person would think that one would spend. So thank you for that, Anna.
I would think I would spend it.
All right. All those in favor of approving the unusually hazardous, I'm sorry, was there any further discussion? Didn't mean to cut you off. Okay. All those in favor of approving the unusually hazardous transportation plan as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That vote passes 7-0. Thank you.
All right, the next recommendation is for the board to approve the 2026-27 district assessment and testing plan. Per board policy 2623, student assessment, the board must annually approve a plan that provides an overview of the district, state, and national assessments administered to CSD students and a calendar of the assessment windows for the 2026-27 school year. The recommendation is being forwarded by the curriculum committee to the full board for approval.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the 26-27 CSD assessment plan.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Discussion. All right, all those in favor of approving the 26-27 CSD assessment plan, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That vote passes 7-0. Thank you.
All right. The next, we are looking for the board to approve the policy updates for the following policies. I'm going to rattle them all off. Policy 100, definitions. 142.7, orientation. 144.5, board member behavior. 1210, board superintendent relationships. 1213, student supervision and welfare. 1230.01, development of administrative guidelines. 1240, evaluation of the superintendent. 2131.01, reading instructional goals and kindergarten assessment. 2261.01, parent and family engagement and Title I programs. 2213, student supervision and welfare. 4140, termination and resignation. 4213, student supervision and welfare. 5112, entrance age. 5135, student identification numbers and cards. 5136, personal communication devices. 5411, third grade promotion and retention, at-risk students. 5515, student use and parking of motor vehicles. 5517, student anti-harassment. 5517.01, bullying. 5830, student fundraising. 5895, student employment. 6320, purchasing. 6325, procurement, federal grants funds. 6605, crowdfunding. 7230, gifts, grants, and bequests. 5462, child abuse and neglect. 9211, district supported organizations. 9215, school support organizations, SSO. 9700, relations with non-school affiliated groups. 9700.01, advertising and commercial activities. This is the second reading for each of the policies listed above. The first reading occurred during the April 15th Policy Committee meeting, and all of these policies were forwarded to the full board for approval.
All right, normally I like to repeat the motion so it's very clear or just stated, but I am going to not do that today. So I will take a motion to approve the policies as presented.
I motion to approve the policy updates as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the policy updates as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Abstention? Oh, sorry, thank you. Okay, so we have a 601 vote total, and thank you, everyone.
All right, the last recommendation is for the board to accept the following donations to the district. $2,500 donation from the Thorson PTO to support end-of-year field trips for Thorson Elementary School students. $6,000 donation from Cedarburg Education Foundation to purchase hallway whiteboards for Cedarburg High School. $14,780 donation from the Cedarburg Education Foundation to support the Cedarburg High School Culinary Arts renovation project. And a $15,000 donation from the Cedarburg Education Foundation to support the Cedarburg High School course program. Total donations for the board for board approval in May is $38,280, and total donations for the 25-26 school year as of May would be $795,646.38.
All right, I will entertain a motion to approve the donations to support the instructional and programming needs of Cedarburg School District.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I was just going to quickly mention that it's wonderful to see additional donations come in for the culinary arts renovation project, which is underway. And I went to the high school choir program yesterday at the CPAC, and it was wonderful. And they mentioned that donation coming in from CEF, and it just sounds like something exciting coming for the next school year. So happy to be voting on that, and always grateful to our community.
Yes, we have an extremely generous community. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the donations to support the instructional and programming needs of Cedarburg School District, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right, that vote passes 6-0. Thank you. And with that, I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Oh, no, sorry.
Your committee meetings.
Oh, gosh, sorry. All right, we have 2 committee reports, and we'll start with Mrs. Charlin to give you an update on the recent curriculum committee.
Yes, we met on May 6th, and we had 3 agenda topics that evening. The first was the 2026-27 assessment plan that we voted on this evening. There are no changes to the assessments, nothing new, nothing removed, same as last year. Then we discussed the 2026-27 academic and career planning, or ACP, and education for employment, or E4E plan. And we're actually taking a little bit more time as a committee with this one, just due to the additional work that Ellie and her team have done with this. The 2 plans are being combined into 1 plan. And just broadly, these are plans. The ACP plan is for 6th through 12th grade, and it's about creating a student-driven, personalized vision for post-secondary success, kind of like a college and career readiness plan for each graduate. And then the E4E plan includes the elementary grades, and that's more like the why and the how around the plan. So any board members are welcome to take a look. They're on board docs. If you have any questions, Allie's welcoming any questions and Q&A, and it will be on our next meeting agenda. Finally, we discussed elementary science review. This past school year, the Elementary Science Committee has been meeting to review standards, scope, and sequence, and their next step is going to be to review some potential resources and could be potentially piloting some resources this coming school year. And our next meeting is June 3rd, 2026. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Mrs. Natsel, can you give us an update on the PNF meeting that was held in May?
Yes, we met on May 13th, and we had a very full agenda. One of the items was an annual food service report. This was an informational topic that provided an update to the current program. We talked about the Aramark renewal, which we voted on tonight. Also, the school lunch fees and the school fees, which we also voted on tonight. And in addition, the facility use and CPAC fees. We also discussed the 26-27 preliminary budget. This was an informational topic, a starting point for the next budget, and it has a lot of moving pieces. As numbers become finalized, these will change, but we are expecting it to be balanced. We also discussed the defeasance that we voted on tonight, and the unusually hazardous transportation plan also voted on. We also got an update to the CHS Culinary Arts Center. Again, this was an informational topic. We had an update on the donations that are currently being gathered. Current estimated cost is $426,000, funded mainly through donations. We also had some discussion regarding negative family food service balances. This was an informational topic, and the board discussed steps that may be taken if balances remain unpaid. And then we also discussed the 26-27 support and exempt staff handbook. This was an informational topic. We were presented with proposed changes to the handbook, which will combine 2 current handbooks into 1. The first draft has been edited and sent back for legal review, and we will have another meeting on June 10th, 2026.
All right, thank you. I apologize once more for moving to adjournment. So, but with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
I will second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? We are adjourned 6-0. Thank you everyone for coming tonight.